All right. Theme song. Look at it showing it. Theme song, theme song, theme song.
Okay. Women. Oh, we gave lemons. That's what
You know
get.
the name of the podcast.
Sometimes. I pretend not to know it because it's easier and it pisses you off when I mess it up. And you know what? I kind of live for pissing you off.
Yeah, you think?
I was also going to say probably the same thing you were going to say, but go ahead.
We have a guest.
We actually have a guest.
We have a guest. It's the first guest. It's the 23rd episode. Is it the 23rd episode?
I don't know. I know he's a longtime friend of ours.
He's not.
He's been a longtime friend of mine.
I didn't mean it like that. Oh my God.
Jeez. What a dick.
It's not. Let's clear this up right now.
Joseph.
I just wanted to make sure.
I got it.
Okay.
Our friend Joseph, I've known for a better part of 30 plus years. I'm going to say closer to longer than that, but we'll say 30 because that's cool.
Easy 30.
Stop kicking the box.
Well, I can't get in it. Check. The mic working?
No, the mic's not working.
So, hey, man, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me. Long-time listener, first-time attender.
Okay, so the problem we have now, though, is that we only have 4 listeners, and now one of them's
on the show. We can invite all 4 listeners.
And I listen at least once, and you listen at least once. That means we have 1 listener this
Our
week.
listen count may be down this episode, but it will go up for the next one, I assure you.
Well, as long as we got Joseph in here, we're good.
Yeah, that's right. I am the king of bringing new followers.
Boom.
Well, you better, because we don't have any.
Yeah.
They're like, I see the comments. They're like, is Massage Cast coming back? Because this is bullshit.
Oh, people do want the Massage Cast to come back. Like, that's no joke.
I know. I've seen it.
And I have this one guy. He's very adamant on Twitter, and he tags celebrities for me
That's awesome.
that he wants me to massage. They're all women. They're all beautiful.
That's awesome as well.
Beautiful women. I'm like, I would enjoy massaging
You'll take
them.
one for the team for us, right? For that?
Yeah.
No beautiful men.
Okay, I lied. This is the 24th episode.
Well, happy 24th.
Lucky 24.
Lucky
That's
24.
right. Happy 24th. This is also the very first episode in our new home.
Yay.
Now, while this is the new first episode in the new home, it won't be its permanent home because we are going to permanently home it in a little studio that we build eventually.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a studio. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and we're hoping that Joseph is going to join us a little more often here in the future.
Absolutely. And for those of you listening at home and can't see, the home is beautiful, and there's lots of Christmas decorations, and it really feels like the Christmas spirit is live and present with us.
I was like, really? These fucking people are dirty.
No,
the house is trashed already.
Not at all. This looks so much more clean and organized than my setup right now.
It looks a lot more organized than our
but there is a lot of joy decor because that's the only time my name is around.
Tis the season. You might as well exploit it. That's
all
right.
the time. There's a joy blanket at Target that I've been trying to get John to buy me for like 4 weeks now.
How about the 4-foot tall Joy Stein going up? Joy Stein going up Gibraltar up the way down by us is about 3 miles from us. There's a big giant sign in the middle of the freaking front yard that says Joy. And it's got to be 6 feet long and like 4 feet high.
That might be an eBay item. You probably could get your hands on one of those.
Dude, that would light up half the neighborhood.
I want.
You'd be like, where does Joy live? Do you see the Joy sign 3 miles down the road?
It's not even a yellow house anymore. It's
We don't live in the yellow house. We live in the Joy house.
The Joy house.
Yeah, you'll
Jesus,
see
are these? Jesus,
you can see
are
it
the,
from space.
You see, Jesus, are these fucking people ever going to take their Christmas lights down?
It's not Christmas lights. It's Joy's lights.
Yeah,
so in
February going strong.
July's her birthday, so it's going to be like Joy.
We also have a little munchkin in here that I don't know how I feel about having you in here.
I don't necessarily like it, but you know,
it's very weird.
Yeah, and he's gonna go to his room here in a little bit.
He has a room. We bought you a room.
Yes, we did, and he's also got movies in there, and he's got everything
fun
he
being
needs
involved
in
with us. That's all good.
I know, but I'm so not PG, and I can't be.
That's true.
And the problem is I'm not, and then it just proves what a bad father I am.
We'll just say earmuff it, and then we'll.
Ear muffins.
You know what? You might as well just plug those shit up. Because I'm not. This is where I get #1 dad of the year and shit. Yeah. What are you giggling at?
I just looked at my notes. And there's only 3 things.
Oh my gosh.
And then one of them, do you remember, I didn't say anything. Do you remember the other night when Brody was rubbing his butt across the living room? Do you remember doing that, Brody? Okay. He shook his head, yes. And then he nodded, not shook.
We all heard it.
Okay. And then you said, what do you have, worms? Do you remember this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So when I was little, my cousin Ronnie had worms.
For real?
For real, straight up.
You sure it was your cousin Ronnie? You want to say Ronnie on the air like a Ronnie?
I don't care. I actually am kind of, Ronnie. Ronnie Jr. I don't even say his last name. I don't care.
Damn.
Big worm.
Big worm. So,
he lives up north. He's a cop. Oh, wait, is that pool guy or is that cop?
No, that's Ryan. Ryan's the cop.
That's Big Worm.
Don't arrest me.
But
messing with my money is like messing with my emotions.
But when I was little, my mom was like, you guys can't go to Aunt Sherry's house because little Ronnie has worms. And I started laughing hysterically.
Because you picture like these giant
I
earth...
pictured him
like
rubbing his butt across the carpet. I was
just picture
age.
Legs high, just pulling himself across with his arms.
It's messed up. As if I wouldn't have known, like when I was a kid. Oh my God, you pick your nose, you're gonna get worms. You scratch your butt, you get worms. Whatever. I'm like picturing like these big old fucking earthworms and shit crawling out of your butt.
Giant night crawlers.
Yeah, like I had no idea. Like there's these like little tiny things. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be these big old dirty worms that are just coming out of your butt, like 6 inches long.
Worms in my belly.
Oh, that's funny.
That shell was the scary one.
Aunt Shell is scary. And then
I'll make you go, dude.
oh, Brody's getting in
Dude, you're getting
trouble.
real close to getting booted.
Brody's getting
Seriously, I'm not joking.
26. If we had another mic, we'd put you on the mic, but we don't.
Nope.
You can hold it and pretend like it's something. Just don't talk, because then we hear mumbling at the end and it sounds weird. And then all I have is, I don't know. This is like all weird, and I don't want to do it with Joseph here.
Why?
I don't. So
There's nothing that's off limits, by the way. For those of you listening at home, don't let her blame it on me.
I know, right?
No,
like they're acting like she's like, oh my God, I don't talk like this.
no.
I'm such a lady. Listen to the last like 3 episodes, number 2.
it's not ladylike. It's a downer. Like,
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, Debbie.
yeah. So my dad's cousin, who was kind of like an uncle, and he was at our house all the time. He
Oh, that's
passed away, and then like it was weird because he was always there. And then I started talking and was telling John he went on my 5th grade field trip with me, and
This is ridiculous.
okay, my dad is insane.
This is the fucking most ridiculous thing I've ever.
So this is a 5th grade field trip. I don't know why, but we went to San Francisco from
here?
Madeira.
From Madeira.
So
Wow.
That's still like a 2.5 hour fucking drive.
That's brave.
It
for
was-
bringing
yeah.
a bunch of kids all the way out there.
yeah. So I've always like my parents, they own their own business. They never went anywhere with us. They were never involved in anything. So my dad out of nowhere decides he's going to chaperone, which is
if you knew her
wrong
dad, oh shit.
on so many
And
levels.
for you, it's probably the most uncomfortable.
It's like
part of the
Ernest
whole
goes to
trip.
camp, Ernest goes to San Francisco.
With his dad.
and dad acts just like Ernest, but
but more.
more.
But special. So my dad decides that I'm not allowed to. He's gonna drive.
She's
So
not
I-
going to ride in the bus with her friends.
Wasn't allowed to ride in the bus.
Oh my gosh! So you had to go separate, like following them, like you're
No,
the.
we didn't follow.
Hell no, they didn't follow her. Her dad drives like 4 million miles an hour, dude.
You're there
he's
waiting
like,
on him for an
he's
hour.
like 65 years old, and he's like, I had 2 hip replacements. I can't help it. This foot just goes.
You've already ridden the trams and eaten the rice-a-roni by the time the rest of the kids got there, or what?
It's
better.
worse.
I say better, she says worse. you know
all
it's going to
relative,
get
right?
good.
So we go, and my dad. Oh, and so David comes along. So it's my dad and his best friend David and me, and we go to the planetarium.
Hey, I'm taking my daughter to a field trip on her 5th grade. You want to go with me?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you didn't. You subtly threw in that his friend even came. It
It
wasn't
was-
just that he came. He even brought his friend.
Yeah,
to the
they're going-
planetarium.
They're going to go to the planetarium thing. I don't know. We'll just go hang out. We'll drive around San Francisco.
But wait, there's more. So we get to the planetarium. Of course, my class isn't there yet. There's no buses. And so my dad walks up and he's like, hey, we're here for Mrs. Ray's Berenda School's 5th grade field trip. And they have no record of a field trip.
Oh, for anybody.
For anybody.
Not just you, the whole...
No. So my dad...
we only do field trips on Tuesdays. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
So my dad does not want to pay for us to get in because...
That's part of the package in his mind, right? We've already paid that. That was...
So
we signed the release.
I paid $60 for my daughter for have a lunch, see some planet stuff, and get there.
Yeah, and the only reason he drove is because his boy came too.
Uh-huh.
Right?
And they wanted to go hang out afterwards. So we wait, and my dad's like, we're standing here. So we stand inside the planetarium, and when the guards change, we just walk in. Because my dad's like, oh, the guards changed, so they think we paid. So
yeah, I just smooth walked in with that.
So
First of all,
dad.
there's a guard change at the plant. This is news to me already.
Well, they got to guard the planets.
I mean, it would make sense that there's people just walking in, apparently, so they probably need guards.
We did. We walked in. My dad and David were, the guard changed. They didn't think they thought we paid. We didn't pay, and they just thought it was the greatest thing. And I'm still like, what is happening? Like, because I was the responsible one in my family. Like,
I could totally see that.
like my parents, like I was the one
So
that was
polar
like, hey, we need to pay the electricity bill. Like I was that kid. Like, hey,
14.
we have
Mom,
an 8.
I'm dying. We need to pay the bill.
Yes. So I was always like that. So I'm like, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is not right. And before cell phones. So we go through the planetarium, which is, by the way, super fucking cool. There wasn't really anybody there. They have a Far Side room with all the Far Side pictures. It was super fun.
That is cool.
And then we go to the pier because my dad's like, fuck it. We went to the pier.
Let's go to the wharf.
Yeah.
We're on a field trip.
Yeah.
We'll meet up with your class. Don't worry.
At no point do we contact. We have no
Them and let them know that they're driving right into a
nothing.
no appointment scenario.
Oh, no. It's even better.
Yeah. So we get home. And the next day I go to class and Mrs. Ray was like, what happened? We thought you guys got in a car accident. We thought you were dead. We checked the traffic reports. And I was like, well, what happened to you? We were at the planetarium. And she's like, what?
Oh, no.
And she's all, we went to the exploratorium.
Oh my gosh. You're like, you guys missed out. The planetarium
Far
is
Side
so
room.
much better. And the wharf is right there.
And the whole time I'm like, Dad, like my class, why isn't my class, what's wrong? Should we call? Should we check? And he's like, nah, they're fine.
I was going to say, you would think you would call and just say, hey, we're not on the list here. I know you got a busload of kids you're going this way. We got to figure out how we're going to get them in.
Well, I guess they're not going to get in. They're going to have to wait for their own guard change. We're gonna go 3 at a time every guard change. All right, 15-minute breaks. Ready? First 2 go.
Yeah.
And it was awful. Like they were like, are you okay? It was a whole thing. They worried about me the whole time.
Oh my god.
My dad not once thought of them.
He was in his own little world.
So David passes away. So I call my dad to make sure he knew, because I found out on Facebook and I didn't want my dad to find out on Facebook. And he's like, yeah, blah, 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 called me. His sister called me in the morning. I know. And then he goes, hey, do you remember when we got in free at the planetarium? And I go, yeah. And he was like, that was a good time. Like
He's like, that was a good dad-daughter day right there.
Good, yeah.
We have how many of those did we have?
That's some solid
that was the best
family
one right
bonding
there.
right there. Yeah.
We bonded. We told you to shut up in the back seat while us boys talked. Drank beer on the road.
Oh my God, they probably did.
You know what? And I'm gonna say they probably
A couple
did.
road bevies
Oh,
in the
dude.
day.
Back in the, that was your time.
They're
like
still rocking lap belts at that point, though.
You're
right?
talking like 1986,
yeah,
dude.
3 kids on the back of the car deck with no belt.
87.
Well, maybe it wasn't that.
Okay.
I'm thinking of like 80s cars or air.
I'm trying to think. Well, she was born in 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It was in the 90s.
So it was the early 90s.
Yeah, give me something.
What?
What the fuck was that? I swear to God, something just squeaked. I have a fantastic mess up story like that, but I can't tell it because there's a little ears right there.
Oh, well, maybe he could earmuff it for 1 minute.
No, he'd have to. It's like a 5-minute story that's ridiculous.
Oh.
Wait, we'll call you back. Why don't you go and we'll call you back?
He's just going to go listen.
Bye,
down there.
Brody.
Brody's stepping out of the studio for just a moment.
We love you.
Good day, sir. I said good
You're
day.
still my favorite.
I don't believe that.
So I went to buy my first vehicle. I was so excited. I bought myself my 1994. No, my bad. I went and bought myself my 1991 Chevy S10 in 1994.
The little red pickup.
My little red pickup. Her name was Little Red. I hated her because she was red and she's not what I wanted, but I settled because I needed a vehicle.
Why did you
As
look
most
at
people
me
do.
when you said I hated it, but I settled?
Because I was kind of foreshadowing. No, I don't know. Anyway,
What? Is that, no, it's
because I'm leaving you next week.
like it was implied it was the same thing.
Damn it, it wasn't me. So anyway, so I have to have a checking account to get this car, right? I'm like 19 or 20.
The lender's telling you this.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have credit. I have nothing. So
Okay.
I'm just some fucking loser kid with a freaking prevailing wage job. I want to buy a truck. So
That's
I
a
got
big word.
I know. Prevailing wage. Well, I lived on that money for a long time.
He memorized that word
He
early.
did. I was all...
Prevailing wages, and
It's a nickel word.
and then per diem.
I know per diem.
Spelt funny. Spelt per diem.
Per DIM.
So anyway, I go to get my checking account. My sister had Great Western. Okay, well, I'm going to get Great Western too. And I smoked this big fat joint
Jonathan.
before I went. So I was doing okay. And I went to the bank. And I was sitting there and I was signing all the paperwork. And I was signing the very last piece so I can get my temporary card and move on. And I looked at the top and I didn't want to stop because it said home fed. I was in the wrong bank the whole time. And that Great Western was like 3 doors down the other way.
Marijuana affects not only the short-term memory, but sometimes other items.
Oh, my God.
I was in there for an hour. I'm talking like minute 56. I go, oh, fuck, I'm in the wrong bank.
So did you finish and you just
Oh, yeah, I
with
did.
them?
I stayed with them. I was with them forever, dude.
He was past the beyond
As a matter of
the point
fact,
of return, I guess.
As a matter of fact, oh, yeah, and I just acted like, I must have looked like,
So what brings you in today, John?
Yeah.
I thought you were a different bank.
Your sister's all, why'd you go with them?
So then he said, well, the good news is like a year or two later, they turned into Great Westerns.
Well, that worked out for everybody, didn't it?
But I swear to God, I was like 56 minutes in that
That's
bitch.
hilarious,
Signing
though.
my like, this is the last of it. And that's not home fed. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm in the bank on the, I'm in the bank on the corner, not the bank next
Oh,
to
my
it.
God.
Well, I mean, I take it all worked out anyway. So right?
You got
your
Little
truck
Red.
Yeah, I had my truck for a long time. That little fucker ran. I got stories about that vehicle that could fucking curl your hair. The speed factor that little truck had was amazing.
for what it was, how fast
Dude,
it was. you mean?
4.3 liter
Yeah.
with no governor on that thing. And the speedo went to 85, and if I buried it, it would take like 35, 45 seconds for the speedo to show back up. I mean,
You know
dude.
you were well over
Oh,
100.
dude, I was pulling away from my buddy in his little Toyota truck. He's like, I was at 125, and you and the Celica were pulling away. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's-
sorry, bro, I was gone.
And that's sketchy. The older the vehicles like that too, they weren't really designed to go 100
Oh,
plus
dude,
miles an
that
hour.
thing, dude, we were like 6 inches away from each other.
Oh, my God.
Well, I remember being a kid going to like Lake. I don't know if you guys remember Lake Delores. Remember Lake Delores?
I do.
Well, Sunday, going down to
my
Lake Delores.
God.
We have absolutely no rules and plenty of things to get you hurt on.
Dude, that's why they got sued and shut down so
They
many
did.
times.
And-
It was
and-
a
Wait,
place-
is that the place you showed
Yes,
me when we
on the
drove
way to
by?
Vegas.
Yes, okay, I know what you're
That
talking about.
place was out of this world. You go there, and there was
Amazing.
like 3 rules, right? Like now there's like a million rules, right? You can't do.
I don't
this,
even think they're open anymore.
Well, they're closed now. Right now, it's another one of these abandoned
Right.
places or whatever. But in their heyday, their big sign when you walk in was like three rules. It was like no beer bongs, no dogs, and no guns or something like that. Was their only.
Shit.
Those are their 3
I gotta go
bugaboos.
back. I gotta go back to the car. Why? I got my gun and the beer bong with me.
Yeah, and the dog. I gotta go leave. But they had one
Well,
right
fuck
there.
the dog.
They had a ride there where you what do you call it? Where you like grab the thing,
Oh, that
slide
one.
down?
Yeah.
What are those called?
The trapeze thing. It wasn't trapeze. It was a zip line type
so
thing.
it's like
but you hung on it. You weren't tied to it.
Right.
But you go real up high, these old, really lousy stairs, like that made it to the very top, and then you climb onto this thing. Well, anyways, there was like a gap of like 12 feet from the top of this thing where there was no water. So, like, if you do
and
what
you were like a good 20 feet off the ground.
Yeah, it was high up there. So if you do what a lot of people do, which is like bend your arms when you go on one of those first, it's like water skiing. You have to start with your arms straight because most people don't have the strength to hold themselves up like that, and you just fall loose.
Just dropping like
people were
bricks.
just dropping in like ankles, okay.
So the movie Grown Ups,
Grown-Ups.
when they're going down that zip line and they're doing that stuff, that reminds me of Lake Dolores.
Yeah,
That's what I
Every
pictured
time.
when you were saying it. Oh my god.
Yeah, they had some, and well, needless to say, we were all young. We all probably had no business drinking and partying and going to a water park like that and getting
Hello.
surviving, I should say. But
Caleb's in the room.
He's fine.
Yeah, but anyway, Lake Delores.
Don't worry about him.
Lake Delores. Was,
He's a good one. You don't have to worry about him.
Oh my god.
But anyway,
Bye.
that's made me think of that. But
Goodbye. It's a good day.
I say goodbye.
That's funny.
Good day to you, sir.
I don't know. Have I ever told? I don't know if I
know.
ever told you the story. I have a pot story. I've never smoked.
What?
I would love to hear your
Okay,
story.
I've never done in drugs.
Which is already amazing
Yeah, to be
in
married
and of
to
itself.
John.
It's
Don't worry.
amazing good and amazing bad also. But
I've carried both of us. It's okay.
he's picking up the slack for you.
But
I already
going
did.
back because I was
the
always
time
the
I was 16.
responsible one. I don't know. Have I already told you this story? My parents were going on vacation and they were leaving me with my grandma, and my grandma hated me. Grandma
Why
Simpson,
would your grandmother hate you?
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
Grandma Simpson didn't like her.
Grandma Simpson did not like me. I don't know. Oh, I think because I was too opinionated.
Was this your mother's mother
No,
or
it's
your
my
father's
dad's.
mother? Okay.
And I think because I was just, well, she
Did she
always
like
said-
your mother?
She liked my mom, but I think she thought I was just too independent. I was always, because I was the one that's taking care of everything. So I'd always be like, no. Well, I found a bag.
You found her stash.
I found their stash that they were going to take on.
The grandma's stash.
No, my parents, because they were
okay,
going
yeah.
on vacation
Yeah.
and they were going to relax. And I got mad at them because I was like, oh my God, how can you guys just be so irresponsible? And these are drugs and you're not supposed to do drugs. So I poured water into it.
Oh
I am
my
so
gosh.
ashamed of you.
Ruined their first part of their trip till they found somebody with another
Oh
dry
my
bag.
God.
I-
That they had to go spend money on that they probably didn't have.
Yeah, that was.
Now they got to
messed up.
spend more.
And I put it back.
And you put it back.
I
so,
put it back.
like they wouldn't notice.
I knew I ruined it, and then I put it back, and they sent because I was like, "Don't send me," because I wanted to go to my other grandparents because they liked me,
Teach you motherfuckers.
and I was just Did I ever tell you that story?
That's fucked up.
I know. And my mom called me, and she's like, "So, sissy, did you pour water into anything?" And I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And I was on the phone, so it didn't matter that my top lip didn't move. So
She couldn't see your tell.
She couldn't see
it.
your lines. She's like, I could tell by the way you're lisping that you are not moving your
they
top
were-
I did
lip.
not move. I didn't want
I don't know what you're talking about.
in their satchel.
I remember one night coming home to my house, and I was still living at home. I was like 18-ish, and I was still on LSD.
Still from the night before.
It was
kinda
still
thing?
that night.
Oh, okay.
I was just time to come home, and it was like midnight, and I was like, "Oh, everybody will be asleep. I'll just go listen to some Pink Floyd and fall
That
asleep."
was what you had
Right.
hoped for.
No, that was that would have been perfect. And I opened the door, and my mom's sitting there. She's staring at me, and I go, "Hi." She goes, "Hi, how are you?" I go, "I drank too much. I got to go." And I went in my room, and I shut the door, and I put my headphones on and literally listened to Dark Side of the Moon until I passed out.
Oh my gosh! I love how you told on yourself for something that would have also got you in
I
trouble.
know, right?
Well, my parents were pretty decent about that type of stuff.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe
As long as I wasn't driving, like a lot of time I hung out with the friends that lived in apartments nearby.
right. So when you're walking home, it's not that
Right.
traumatic.
So, I mean, my mom was, dude, I remember my mom literally freaking washed my pot once and then handed it to me and goes, "I'm sorry I washed it."
Well, your wife washes
I
pot too.
was gonna say I was just
Oh my God.
making it
You guys are
clean.
named after each other. It's the same thing.
A lot of people will just wash the money. You know what I'm saying? But
They wash green. That's a
you
wrong.
cut out the middleman instead of washing the money. You wash the drugs.
You know what?
themselves.
You know what? They were like, let's roll that fucking joint. Fuck yeah. We're
They
going to
rang
roll
that
it.
for 100%. Your
They
parents
tried
rang
that shit out and tried to smoke it. Oh, I
It was
guarantee
probably
it.
in the microwave.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, I could just picture that was like laying out at their hotel.
Dude, I can remember
all weekend.
being a teenager and you're like, oh, dude, someone gave me this. It was their plan. And it's like not even dried. And you're trying to trying to get it to go. And it's like, dude, it's still alive.
Do you wanna- The funny thing is, like, you know how you just said your parents were super cool? My parents would have killed me. Like,
That's so funny.
they were so strict with me that they would have just, like...
Do you think that you thought they were that strict because you were such a good kid that maybe, I mean, you didn't really do
know,
bad
you-
things? So are you sure that's not something you just
I
thought
don't
in
know.
your mind?
She's told me some stories that have made me go, and then I look at her dad a little different.
Where you're like, like, because if he was like partying and crazy, like that would be kind of hypocritical to be super.
He was very... you know what? I don't know.
No, look, okay, I'll give you an example that you've given me, if that's okay.
Yeah, I don't... Yeah.
Like, hey, Dad, my friends are having a sleepover this weekend. Can I go?
okay.
I don't know. I'll think about it. And then that day comes around, and hey, oh, it's too late. Sorry. Bye.
Like last minute bad.
Yeah, or you can't go at the last second, or you can, but it's way too late.
It was
and everybody's
always
already gone.
It was always I could, but he wouldn't tell me until the very last day. So my friends would be like, "Oh, well, we invited someone else."
Right.
Oh, so they're making it to the last minute and making it
So
hard
it
for you.
came
Maybe he
to-
knew that was a good way to sort of get out from you having to leave.
Maybe.
leaving.
So he would do. So at that point I wouldn't even ask. I'd be like, "No, I can't," because it was just easier than being like, "Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I?" And then and I'd be like,
It's fucked up now, this, because I see you talk to your dad, and he's like, really? I don't remember any of that shit.
"Oh yeah, no." We have a completely different.
He's like, I was a great dad, and you were just super angel daughter that never fucked up, and I was lucky to have you. And the realization is, she was a little bitch.
I was.
He was an asshole. And, well, they just didn't get along. I mean, let's call it what it is.
I was. I did.
didn't get along with my family all the time.
Well, see, I don't know. I think I've explained this. When I went to school that was a kindergarten through 8th grade.
Right.
And 8th grade was exactly like 1st grade. You had one teacher. You had assigned seating. So then they throw me into a huge high school. My high school was
My high school.
my high school.
That was your first time being around a large group of people too, right? 'Cause
And I've been with the same kids since kindergarten.
They didn't change classes or anything?
No. And
everybody just stays in the classes just for the next year. A different teacher comes to that same class.
As soon as we went through 4th grade, that's actually 4th grade, I think, is when you started doing other things, and you were kind of in and out of school with me.
Yeah.
And then I think it was late 4th grade and early 5th grade, they started making us switch classes to get us used to switching classes.
Well, see, even junior high, some kids have a hard time with junior high because that's when you start switching classes and periods and stuff. So my first day in high school, I'm sitting there. It was world history. And I'm sitting there and everybody leaves. And she's like, okay, you go to your next class. And I was like, I'll just sit in this seat until it break. And she's like, no, you have to go to your next class. And I was like, I don't understand what you're saying.
She's like, you physically have to stand up and go to
I need you to leave.
This year your class isn't going to come to you.
Listen, little girl, you're making me uncomfortable. I need you to leave.
I have no idea what you're saying. One girl hid in the bathroom because she couldn't take it.
Just overload. She was also a small town, small
She's same-
groups.
same class.
You know, the worst part is there's all this information that went home in letters through the school to the parents that are talking about you're switching schools and switching classes, and you get there and you're like, what the fuck is
Well, that was just it. She was the responsible one, so technically Joy should
You
have been
should-
reading the mail.
I guess you fucked up.
My mom, when I was in 4th grade, Brody's age, she had my dad's signature and her signature. And she goes, which one is easier for you to do? And my dad's. So she's like, okay, I'm not filling out any more of your school forms. And I was like, okay. So I filled out my school forms, my brother's school forms. Like, my parents never filled anything out.
Well, they looked at you as the responsible kid
which-
anyway, so it wasn't like they were being really that irresponsible.
She was the mom to them anyway. They're like, fuck it. We raised her. She can do it. She can mom up.
And I ditched school once, and I could have signed my dad's name and got away
Dude,
with
I
it.
did it once a week.
But I felt so bad that I took detention.
You took it on your own?
I did. I could have signed my dad.
Hi, I'm here to sign myself up for detention.
She's like, I did it. She's like,
I did.
She's the one that turns herself in. No, not even one clue on who did the crime. And she just walks through the front of the station. Hi, I am the one who did it. I would like my things and my...
This is a robbery. I did it. I'm going to do it. I'm
I'm
Joy.
going to start this robbery
I'm
by
sorry.
apologizing and
I'm
letting
s-
everybody know that the bank's money is insured.
But I did lie to
Not
my
really
dad.
yours.
I did lie to my dad and told him I had color guard practice. So he didn't know I had detention. So
Well, that was a double.
Yeah. So.
You lied so you could
felt
go
like
do
a
the right
super
thing.
rebel.
That's how good you are, Joy. You're so good you lied so you could go do the right thing. That's honorable. That's the most
Isn't
honorable
it?
lies I've
Don't
ever
you see
heard
what
of.
I mean when I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
she's-
we are so opposite. and
Yeah,
I'm so fucked up.
You're
compared
very
to
lucky
her.
to have her. That's for
Dude, I'm
sure.
so fucked up, like compared to her. This is ridiculous.
And I
Yeah.
snuck out of the house once too,
Yeah, I did
but only
too.
for
Once.
an hour.
You
I did.
snuck out for once.
And I felt so bad that I went home.
Yeah,
Wow.
I snuck out once.
I remember running away like several times, and they would be like, like full blown. I am like with the little like old style cartoons with like a stick and like a shirt tied on the end of it.
We just
with,
talked
like, our
about that, the
stuff on
hobo
there.
thing. I did
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, the hobo thing. Like,
My dad tied it up for me, put my Hot Wheels in it.
yeah, he's like, here you go. Good luck. It's a tough world out there. We'll see.
Hey, I started leaving. My mom's like, I bought those Hot Wheels. She's like, I'm like, fine.
Yeah, but most of us run away, and it only takes till right when you start feeling your first hunger pains, and you realize this is a stupid idea.
I made
Not only
it-
is it cold outside, but I'm hungry, and then you just have to go back with your tail between
Dude,
your legs and be
I
like,
was sitting out on the street like pedo bait. Now that I'm like thinking back on it, like
Well, we
dude,
didn't have-
I was sitting out at the end of the. All I had was dude, we had this little tiny cul-de-sac where we are.
you're
where
like
we live.
hitchhiking,
And there was dirt, and there was a little tiny block wall, and the only people who are coming by there are the creeps who were going in the wash and shit that time of night.
Well, see, as a kid, I don't remember dealing with like now. It's like everything, like it's constantly any kids anywhere you're alone. You're like, oh my god, how are they not being watched? When we were kids, parents would be like, all right, all of you guys go out there
Dude.
by like the murder bridge and have
to the
fun by
murder man.
yourselves. Yeah,
Don't hang on the bridge
yeah,
like
look at all
that.
this candy the guy gave me. It's like no, we
I
don't know what it must have been. I mean,
Dude.
obviously the bad guys were getting away with literal murder back
I think
then
it's because of what we went through that we
then we
when
started
became
realizing
parents,
the stranger
we were like,
danger effect.
Dude,
was real.
Yeah.
I remember walking to school with my sister and freaking down the street, walking to Newhall School, the little elementary school, and freaking, I don't know, 5, 6. I was probably first or second grade, so 6 or 7, and my sister's probably 10. And man, we're walking by, she's like, "Oh my god!" And there's some dude standing in the window, just dick out, hanging out there,
in
looking
a house where you're walking by,
right across the street from the high school,
Oh my
like just
God.
standing in the window, just
Oh my
just
God.
hanging out. My sister's like, "Oh my god, someone's naked, run!" And
Yeah,
we I didn't think twice about that shit. Now,
You just thought he was like some dude who was
Or
like caught
now
off
I
guard.
do. Now I
you
do.
realize he bought that house because it was across from a school.
Ew.
Yeah, that was. And I know I've told this story before, but my sister one time when I was young, the stupid shit was when we get a phone call and I answer the call and it's like, "Hey, I want to suck your dick," and I go, "Hold on, hey, it's for you." And I gave it to my sister. she grabs the phone and she goes, "Hello," and then I hear her go, "Oh, fuck you, motherfucker!"
What did he say to her? Because he didn't say the same thing, right?
I don't know, but he was probably laughing.
So he was a pervert prank caller.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, I want to."
He was like a reverse 900 number, right?
Also, and I think I told this one real quick. I'll repeat
You've
it.
never told that one.
Okay, well, there's another one that's similar. That's actually funny because I was on the road. I was 24 years old. I was on the road in Virginia, staying at a hotel, and I, have a wake up call set up for 4:30, 5 o'clock, whatever, to get up, go to work, meet in the lobby, have coffee, then we bolt. So my phone rings, and I like bounce my eyes open. It says like, I don't know, 5:30. Oh fuck, I'm late. as I just grabbed the phone thinking my wake-up call, and I thought it was a dude calling me. The neighbor or my buddy. Hey, man, I'm sorry, I'm on my way. Click. Phone rings again. Dude, I'm on my way down. Fuck. Click. I'm getting dressed. Rings again. I answer. Dude, and I hear, whoa, you don't understand. What? He goes, yeah, dude, I want to suck your dick.
What? This is the same guy?
No, this is some random dude. This is like...
the same guy.
He's chasing me around.
That guy is following you, man.
He's like, I saw you when you were 7, and now I want you when you're 24.
Oh, my God.
So, true story, right? I answer the phone, this guy, and I'm like, and I go, I still think it's a dude. I go, yeah, we'll go, whatever, fuck off, dude. And I hang up the phone, and I finish getting dressed, and I go to the lobby, and I'm down in the lobby, and I'm looking around. There's no continental breakfast. There's no coffee. And I look at the guy, and behind the counter, he's looking at me, and I go, no coffee? He goes, no, not for another few hours. And I look up, and it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my gosh. You were...
As a motherfucker.
That guy woke you up, and you...
I was like, I should have let him do it then.
That's
I would have been
funny.
You don't laugh.
Yeah. Have you ever done that? Have you ever woke your kids up for fun? Like, there's all these videos now online where they get them up and then, like the middle of the night, and they're like, "Get ready for school! You're running late." And they're like at the bus stop, and they just start laughing.
Oh,
like,
we did that to a
hate
buddy
us.
at racing. We were out racing, like, we'd get up early to go to the track. We'd stay in hotels or whatever, and we set up. He was out, or he was in the shower or something, and we set up a freaking a wake up call for like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had we were partying, so it was like 1 or 12. He goes and passes out, and he gets his freaking call, and then the next day when we see him, he goes, "Fuck you guys." I go, "What?" He goes, "Dude," he goes, "I got the wake up call. I got showered. I got dressed. I got everything ready to go." He goes, like he was just on autopilot because he was still drinking from the night before. I got to get to the track, and then he's like, "Motherfucker." I realized it was
3
like
hours of sleep. Caught him right when he hit his rim.
He was so mad at us, dude.
That would make me so angry.
Oh, and like, oh yeah, dude. I think I poured my buddy into his race car that day. I was like, "Go race, dude. Good luck."
Oh my gosh, yeah. He never did better. However, that was horribly irresponsible.
Actually, I think he did pretty good.
Yeah, he was all calm and
He's
relaxed.
half asleep.
Barfing.
Yeah,
That's how I came and met. That's when we finally got together that day. That night, I got so drunk because I was with this chick and I couldn't stand her. She was making out with all these guys. So me and this gay guy.
How dare her be a slut?
This gay guy came up to me and he's like, "You and I are going to be best friends tonight." And I was like, "Fuck yes."
That's her dream.
It is. I'm not
I need
lying.
gay
I
friends.
totally want
That's
a
her
gay
dream.
friend.
You have gay friends.
There's one at Dink's.
Jesus.
He gets his nails done and I'm in love with him and I want to take him home. Stop.
He may let you be his bestie.
Maybe. And so we drank, and then finally I was like, told this girl, I was like, because we drove my car to San Diego to party, and I was like, I just can't party. I'm going home. Can you find a way back from San Diego? I fucking did.
Gosh.
She had family. It was fine.
Oh, okay.
So I went and I drove, and I'm hungover, and I'm like dry heaving, but there's a fucking CHP driving behind me the whole way. He must have known. So I'm all...
He was just off duty rolling. He's like,
he had no idea.
Is this dumb lady doing?
That dude was straight hungover driving home himself, right? He had no idea.
So then I pull up, but I go all the way to John's parents' house. And they're in Laughlin, so I call them, and I'm so hungover, and I just drove, and
I
don't
lived right
feel
next
good.
to my parents' house, by the way.
And I go, "Okay, I'm here. I'm parked at your parents' house. Where do you live?" And he said, "First house on the right."
4 apartments, 1 house over there, by the way.
Okay, but mind you, I drove by, so now I'm the opposite
Yeah, so
way.
you're seeing the opposite house.
So
across the street.
I walk into the first house on the right. And thankfully she didn't kill me or anything.
Well, we all ended up being friends.
Yeah, but I walk in and I drop my shit and I go, "I need a shower." And she comes from the kitchen and she goes, "Hello."
Oh my gosh.
And I go, and I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. So I was all, "Is Jonathan here?" I don't know why I said Jonathan.
You panicked.
And she goes, "He lives next door across the driveway." And I was all, "Bye." So I
but
pick
about the
up
shower-
my shit and I'm walking and he's all, "Why the fuck were you at the neighbor's house?"
Yeah, I was just getting a shower real fast before I got over here.
So stupid.
Oh,
That's
man.
Tina. She's cool.
And we didn't. And then like she didn't mention it for months. Like we were super nice.
Like we all
got
became
along.
friends, everything, right?
We became friends, and finally I'm all, remember when I walked into your house? And she's like, I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Oh my God.
You were
But we all know this isn't the first time Joy's done something like this.
Really? Walked into another person's house?
I bought her a Highlander, a Toyota Highlander that sits
Good
in the
choice,
garage.
good choice.
And she went to go throw something in the seat and run back inside, and she opened the door, threw her things down, shut the door, and realized that was the wrong car.
I did.
Problem is, there was still a lady in the driver's seat going, "What the fuck are you doing in my car?"
Gosh. There's even a lady in it. You didn't even catch that. I was going to say in a little, ploy to make money,
Hey, that's
Toyota
weird.
made more than one Highlander. I get that. But there's somebody in the car.
It was black.
That's
I was in a
impressive.
hurry. I didn't even notice. I threw my shit in the passenger seat and I was walking away. And this lady goes, excuse me. And I was all, oh my God. So I grabbed my stuff and then I went and found my Highlander. And then my friend who was waiting for me, she was driving. She's all, what the fuck were you doing with that other lady?
Yeah, she saw you going over there. Oh my God! Nowadays, if you just opened some random stranger's car and threw a bag of something on there, first of all, they're not going to be thinking you were making a mistake.
Bomb!
Yeah, they're going to be like, "Run!"
You'd be like, COVID.
Yeah, nothing good. Can come
I tried
from a stranger
to
dropping
get
a
into
package.
some black Toyota Tercel the other day. That wasn't mine. I drive a Honda.
Oh, because you were just looking at black cars. Yeah, that's being
And
too
it was in
tired.
the spot I was in the spot I normally park. It was right in the heart of when we were going through all of our
You were tired from moving.
from our moving stuff. But I swear I walked right up and I was like, yeah, that's not my car. That's a Toyota. I better walk away. It was like and it wasn't even like a 2016, dude.
So you're the reason that 8,000 people on the Neighbor app are like checking doors again.
I saw that guy
Be
with
on the lookout. Some
There's a-
older dude's checking doors.
the bald, chubby guy with a beard looking for.
I think he's looking for Kenwood pullouts. For those of you who are relatively young, that was a stereo that went into a car that you could actually pull
Oh
out
my
of
God,
it.
I remember those.
Dude, that's such a MacGruber move right there. The pull-out stereo.
Yeah, exactly. It's like made for a thief, built by regulars.
1994 Mazda Miata with the Kenwood pull-out.
Yeah.
Or the detachable face.
Yeah, and then
That's what-
nobody
Here,
could find
go
the
ahead.
face.
Go ahead and take the whole fucking thing. I got the plate.
Yeah,
face.
you realize that theory didn't work because then all you had was a bunch of thieves and people with two parts of a stereo that didn't work.
Right.
It was like you either had faces or the stereo. Nobody
That's
had
how you
both
met
together.
someone. You'd be like, I
Oh my
have
God.
the stereo. I have the face.
It's a perfect fit. It's like Reese's.
That's what I knew about Joseph for sure. Growing up, it was like he had to have all the best cars and shit. I got to have that for my car. The sound system, really? Isn't it a little annoying? Yeah.
Yeah, but I love it. You only live once. I don't regret any of this money I've wasted on cars, except for the fact that I don't have that money anymore.
or those cars anymore.
Yeah, or
dude,
the cars.
I loved your little Malibu wagon, dude.
That was
thing
awesome.
dope.
You know, I'll tell
then
you-
you lifted it up like a 4-wheel drive, like
no, it just looked that way because of the wheels that were on it. We had put small wheels on there.
I thought weren't you the one that put freaking BF Goodrich's on?
No,
that
I had
fucker?
that lifted like Olds 88. Remember with
That's-
like Monster 44s on it? That was crazy. Where the carburetor would catch on fire when you started. But no, that Malibu. I got a funny story actually about that Malibu station wagon. So it looked a lot like it was basically the same G body style as the El Caminos and whatever of that era.
It looked like Grammy's old El Camino kind of.
So we had put
Okay.
a bunch of work into
But a
this
wagon.
thing and like had a giant speaker box with 415s
I remember it.
and like 16 separates. and-
hydraulics. I had everything on it.
It was really amazing for car audio. But anyways, I was driving it to where Mervin's used to be here in Santa Clarita. You know where?
Oh, I miss Mervin.
Well, they in that shop, Mervin's shopping center. When you pull in from like where the car dealership side is or whatever, and you pull in, there was a big row of trees in there, and there was
Right.
so both sides that come can't see the other cars coming. This was just a total design flaw in
Right.
there. Anyways, make a long story short, I was picking up a friend who was standing at the corner of Mervin's. And as a joke, I slammed on the gas like I was going to run into him and to just like stop at the last minute and just totally T-boned this lady in a van. And I mean, it was so bad that like the front corners smashed, then the side smashed, and then the back smashed. And then my car went off into Mervin's and hers was like over into the bushes. The best part of the whole story is my buddy's sitting there with his jaw just on the ground. Like you can't believe what he just saw. Like he totally just like saw me accelerate and then just destroy this lady.
Why the fuck did he just crash that lady?
Yeah, and this lady, oh my gosh, this poor lady, this was back in the day when everybody had like Aqua Velvet's hairspray.
Oh, the
like,
Aquanet.
The Aquanet, right? So it was like
super
like a
flammable.
Well, yeah, flammable too, but basically it was like
Was it Mrs. Beverly from Newhouse School back in the day?
It was like her hair. But all of our windows, this is how hard the crash was. All of our windows broke out of the cars. And I'm talking a station wagon that had like 16 windows in mine. Her van had like 12 windows.
Doing like fucking 50 in the parking.
Well, it was just there was like no brakes, right? It was like a solid 10 or 15 miles an hour. And she was maybe going 5 or 10, but there was just no brakes, right? So it's just boom, boom. But anyways, this is appropriate for the time of year because her head looked like a Christmas tree with ornaments. All the glass in her hair looked like little ornaments in a Christmas tree.
You're all, the wreck.
She just stood there with like this look of disbelief. I swear she didn't even talk until the police came. I mean, she just was like in total shock. And then, of course, I'm laying on the ground thinking, oh, if this is my fault, I really need to play up this injured thing, like
I'm gonna lay here.
My back, my neck, like let the ambulance come. And then I told my buddy, I go, whose fault did that look like? You go, 100%. That was your fault. I heard, and then slam. And so then I was like, okay, well I might as well not milk that bar. I'll get up and
I'm okay.
Yeah, looks like I'm feeling better already.
I think I just stretched a muscle. Just caught me off shock.
Oh man, but I was just as shocked as her. But like her shock was like a picture. Like it just stayed. That look on her face just stayed that way for like 20, 30. I mean, I don't even remember how it ended. Like her ever even getting out of the car. But I never remember her face without just the look and the open mouth and the ornaments in her hair. And they were like stuck to her hair.
Did you go, I just want to let you know that your hair looks really pretty right now.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh my gosh, those bushes, huh?
I trimmed your tree.
Nobody saw anything.
I never saw those.
Yeah, I just innocently picking on my friend, and you just came out of nowhere. Like, wow.
I mean, I sped up, but I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And those cars were not as forgiving too. Now they're designed to crumple so that they take the the absorption.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, that was mad.
That's what happened. That was the end of that one.
That was the end of that car. I've got a lot of stories like that with cars. There was one.
Well, that was what I ended up with. Yeah.
I remember driving an old Buick Regal, very, very, very nice Buick Regal. If as nice as a Buick Regal is going to be,
right? As nice as a Buick
like
will
early
be.
'80s. Of course, now they're probably worth twice what they were then. But I was driving. Do you remember when they had those hydraulic rams that would come out of the ground by where the Boss Big One Cal Grove was? And if you try to cut through that little fence, those
you
rams
got caught up on those.
So I'm following somebody through there, and I think I'll just smash the gas and go really fast behind them so that I make it through the gate. For those of you listening who don't know, these are like military grade, like made of like steel ball bearing type steel,
the concrete
hydraulically shoot out of the ground.
Instead of a gate coming down to stop you, these concrete poles come up.
And there was a
ground.
gate, so that was misleading too. You'd see the gate, you try to beat the gate. Well, I'm following.
That's right.
I'm following this lady through person through the gate, trying to just to save time to cut over and go to Bob's.
It was like a 5-minute save drive, cutting all the way around. Yeah,
I don't know how fast I was going at the time. I mean, I couldn't have been going more than 10 actual miles an hour. I think because I'm following a car through the thing, but it stopped. It went right through my engine block and lifted my car in the sky, and it stopped. My below my nose and above my lip hit the top of the steering wheel and bent the metal in the steering wheel all the way to the dash. That's how hard it stopped me.
Damn.
All of the oil fell onto the engine block, and so of course it went from like cruising with the stereo on and the
fire.
AC going to like bloody face, steam coming out of the car, smoke coming out of the car. The windshield wipers got turned on somehow, and this like snobby lady in a Range Rover is like pulling out of the other thing, and she's like, "See, that's why you should read the signs or something." And I was thinking to myself, I'm like over here like dying,
Bloody.
like
Right.
I'm blood.
I just shoved my nose in my brain.
I felt like my car was so high off the ground, like I couldn't even get out of it. All right, and it was still stuck. It wasn't like it just does that and then lets you back off. It literally like lifted me in the air, and then we're stuck there. So totaled that car. From the outside, the car looked perfect. But they totaled it because of the amount of damage of that thing went through. So, anyways, on that note, they ended up eventually taking that out. There was I contacted.
Yes, they did because of that happened. Not in just yours, but it happened to more than
several. So I actually contacted an attorney because I was kind of injured in that. Although it was my dumb fault, I was like, "Well, what's the deal? Like, if nothing else, they should, there's got to be. I was in the wrong, but of course I'm trying to point fingers like most humans do. Like, well, it couldn't have been me. It's got to be them, right?
I mean, I know I wasn't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, I didn't see the giant fence that said no. But anyways, what was funny part was there was a big giant sign there that literally has a picture of a car in the air, just like mine was. If you look close enough, where it's warning you.
You know what would be fucked up is if you went back there like a month later, there was a picture of your car on there.
That would be funny. Yeah, use me as an example.
It happens.
In that same spot, a friend of mine was going down there, and the gate had been open. It was opened at the time. That was gone, and the gates were always open.
Yeah.
And he was going down that hill, and he had to hit the brakes, and the brake pedal went to the floor.
Oh, master cylinder gave out.
Yeah, he ended up rolling it. He had to stop to make it, and so he wouldn't hit everything. He had to roll it off the side of the road. 64.5 Mustang.
Oh,
fastback.
Brutal. Oh, that's an expensive
Dude,
car
super
now.
rare fastback. 64.5 fastback.
That's
Ruined
brutal.
it.
The attorney that I talked to said that there was like 60 cases of people
From that place.
one space that
Damn.
I remember more than a few people
there
getting
was
that.
apparently there was a woman who, this is why he told me don't bother, your case will never go anywhere, because there was a young woman, I think she was like a college student or something, and she had driven through there with her little like Honda Civic, and apparently it went through the floor and broke her leg in 3 places. It like,
You're like, well, too bad you shouldn't have went that
and
way.
she lost.
She lost.
She didn't win anything. So he was like, if she doesn't win anything, your smashed up face is not going to...
Your bloody nose isn't going to help.
And the jury's going to feel a lot more sorry for this little girl than they are for you.
Shit.
That is buck wild right there.
But yeah, eventually they took out that. And now look, now they got rid of that, and they also got rid of course, the Bob's Big. By the way, if anybody is a restaurateur out there, my heart goes out to you with this pandemic, because
No
it's
shit.
super brutal. If you guys... if you know anybody that's in the restaurant business, this would be a good time to do a GoFundMe for them or give them some money or whatever.
Shit, right?
But the point I was trying to get to was we used to have 2 Bob's Big Boys in this town, and now we have none, and I don't understand the math.
Because there's still one in Burbank.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll drive there, right? And there's also one in like Northridge, too,
Right.
you can go to. But we deserve one here.
Oh, absolutely.
Make Toppers back into one, or what? I mean,
Dude.
or even back.
I mean, I'm okay with Toppers where it is. I could see him sending Bob's back to the one over in Cowgrove. I mean, that would have been a good little. That was a good little place.
If you
right
did
there.
it 24 hours, if anybody's thinking of a business idea restaurant, it's
Bob's
probably the
Big Boy.
last thing on your mind right now. But maybe next year, once everybody starts going back to normal,
2022,
or the end of 21, or whatever. Midsummer, whatever.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
It takes a while to get these things started. So anyways, I'm just planting the seed. Anybody with money who wants to be a restaurateur, a 24-hour Bob's Big Boy in Santa Clarita would be gangbusters.
And a
especially
Sonic.
if it was roll up like old school, like the Sonics or the A&Ws. If it was one of them roll up Bobs, hell yeah, that'd be money. Especially right now, contact free food.
They used to have drive-through liquor stores in the Antelope Valley. Did you ever know?
Do you remember the A&W root beer on 126?
Yes.
And remember there used to be a turn where you like the road turned right in there 126, and you got like back on the highway area right there. It was weird. Now it's not like that at all. It's all a little Mexican restaurant. None of that shit's there.
Yeah.
A&W was awesome because they had that, roll in like
I remember
the Sonic
A&W. I have, yeah.
But do you think that would be a good idea now to have the drive-through, anything drive-through now?
Any of the
more-
drive up, sit there, order, order from your
It's
screen
not going
like
to go
Sonic
away,
does.
right? I mean, even if everybody says, "Okay, we've got the virus beat,
We got
we've
vaccines.
got everybody's better,"
Well, it's
people are
gonna be
still
like a
going to
flu.
be afraid, or
It's
maybe
going to
Yeah.
be like a flu. You're still going to have to either get your vaccine every couple of years. Like I don't necessarily do the flu shot, and I take the shot at getting a flu, but
people will be more aware of germs now than ever, though.
I agree. Also, I massaged one of the head people in Henry Mayo, and she said what they're hoping for is by June of 2021, we will have herd immunity. So between the people taking the vaccines,
right.
there will be enough people who had the vaccine and enough people who
Right.
didn't want to take it. It'll be herd immunity. And
It's
we'll
supposed to be
pretty
like
much start-
you need like 30-something% to have herd immunity.
Wouldn't we
right?
pretty much have that without the vaccine by then?
I don't know.
I think this swept through our nation before even December.
Oh,
of
I
last
had it
year.
in
Oh,
October.
I think everybody's had it. I for whatever reason, everybody that I'm going to totally knock on wood for this.
Yeah.
But everybody went through this. All the kids, Joy, everybody went, and we don't know of what it was, but this early September, October last year. I mean, everybody was sick.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
parents,
December, people that never get sick were getting.
Yeah.
Were
That's
getting
me.
sick.
and for whatever reason, I was battling right through it every time. I don't know why.
And they say it's an immune deal, right? So if you have a
Right.
strong immune system, you may not even notice that you have it, but you'll could give
Well,
it to somebody who's
I also wonder
worse
too,
off.
because I have patients, I have people who pop Advil almost every day for their joints and their aches.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if some of these people who are asymptomatic because they're already taking Advil. It's a fever reducer. It's a pain reliever. So if they're taking that, they're not going to have the fever. They're not going to have the weird
Especially
pain.
if it's mild, that may be just enough to
Exactly. Just knock it out. So when
to
they're
make them
saying,
feel normal.
oh, I'm asymptomatic, you're like, oh, maybe you're not. Maybe you are treating it and don't even realize you're treating
Are you
it.
guys doing a temperature check on people or anything now? Or
Rectal.
just full rectal thermometer
Every day.
That's what John calls it.
10 times a day.
You would cut down on attendance heavily, I think, if you
Yes,
announced
you
that
would.
publicly.
5 a.m. is the first one.
And you'd get a couple of people that just keep showing up every day for you're like, wait, just one
The guy who keeps
temperature
calling
check.
John.
Didn't you just get your check done? I just went to the back of the
Well,
line
you
to
check
do it
when we
again.
come in and we leave, right? This is not just a coming.
He
I
gets
felt
a
little
check.
tickle
Oh,
in
I
my
got to go back to my...
throat.
I forgot something in my car. I got to go back.
Yeah,
Oh, you
recheck.
need to check me again, right?
Recheck.
Oil check.
Yeah, these kids now are like, oh, taking my temperature is like, you guys don't know how bad how lucky you have it. Like,
No.
we didn't do it that way.
We were getting a thermometer in the asshole.
Yeah, and then you'd have to be like so sick you were like
Now that-
pale and
now that-
410 degrees.
Dude, now they're
Right?
putting like a Band-Aid on their head. It's all, it reads 98.6.
Yeah.
We did. Yes, they
Yes.
do. They have
Yeah,
Band-Aids
yes,
that you
they
can
do.
put on their forehead.
And it's a temperature one.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It
We used
reads
to
the
call those
temperature.
mood rings.
I had a mood
Do you think
ring.
anybody's ever used one of those as a cock ring?
I don't know, but I think everybody's just turned that purple and they're like, oh, yeah, you're really in love, man. It's
yeah.
like, wait a second.
was
Everybody's
always-
So what if-
it's
if it-
called being a human and having body temperature. Like,
Well, maybe your temperature's a little more that day. It caused a little red.
Yeah,
and
it's
there's
one-
more that day because you were angry because that guy.
yeah, it's running hot. It's running hot.
I don't know what guy.
I don't
Just
know.
a
Mine
guy.
was always black.
That's black.
Why do you got to go there?
My mood rings were always
Well, once your
black.
mood ring went black,
It never went.
It never went back. That's because it was black because you had no mood.
I do
Because it
have
always
a
started.
mood.
It always. That's how it started. It started
Okay.
black.
Well, apparently. Okay, hold on.
So room temperature was black.
Brody lost his phone today.
Yeah.
And
Again.
Okay, Brody lost his phone today. He went on a hike. I was like, okay, let me call Dad to ping your phone so we can find your phone. He did not want me to call you. Dad's going to be mad. Dad's going to yell. Dad's going to beat me. That one was my favorite.
I don't think I've ever hit my kids. Ever.
You don't think you have?
I might have smacked them around when they were little, but
but
not anymore.
he went, when I finally got permission from him to call you, he went and hid in the closet because he didn't want. Oh, he went and hid in his stuffed animals. But I'm the scary parent. I don't understand why they.
Yeah, I yell better.
Was he embarrassed or afraid? I mean, that's could be two different things. So maybe a little bit of both. I mean, we've all been there, right?
No, and it's because I was afraid because that means Dad has a lot of anger.
Wow, he's exposing some
Listen,
anger, rage.
I've done 2 years of anger management. Thank you very much. I've got plenty. I've got plenty of skills in
I
holding
just don't
my anger.
understand why they get so scared of you when it's me.
I know they should be scared of you because you're the one that gets all yelly and stuff on
I
them.
do.
I try to calm them down because they're like, "Oh my God, Mom's insane." I'm like, "I know she's not. I'm like, "Listen, she's
Yeah, we got to stick together, kids.
we're gonna make it. We just got to stay quiet.
You're right. We just go watch each other's back.
Let's go outside and hide."
Did you just say we got to get naked?
No,
I was listening to Brody and I
no,
saw.
no. I
I was
don't.
trying to think of where that even fit in.
I was like, no.
I was
That'll throw her off.
no. Okay, way back.
Nope, that just went away. Listen,
Speaking of naked.
child services. I'm sorry.
Speaking of naked, when you guys were talking about running away, when I just told this story when we were talking about it, is my mom, same thing. She was like, you can't take all this stuff. I bought all this stuff. So you have to
Fend for yourself.
Yeah. So my ass got naked. Talk about pedo bait. And I walked out of the house.
Oh my God.
I was like,
I am
fine.
9 and I am walking out of the house naked with my
Freaking
little.
walked out, and then my mom had to change it. So her rule changed to you can have everything that's on your person.
You might be onto something with like a reverse psychology. You know, the bad guys are driving by in their van. They're like, "There's no fucking way this is not a setup."
Is there? Do you see a fishing line to that?
Yeah, exactly.
Does
she have an earpiece in? This is not.
What's his name? Chris, whatever. That fucking that Predator dude. He's in the back.
Oh yeah, Chris Hansen.
Yeah, he's in the back with her tied to it.
Yeah.
I got it.
I'm actually 50. Might just look good for my age. They're all
Actually 50.
I doubt you're gonna have good.
That's like that'd be fucked up, right? You know, this is our undercover. The body like looks like she's like 12.
They do that.
And the face looks like she's 70. You're
I'm
like,
sure they get.
oh
people,
Jesus.
Yeah, they got to get the. Little,
You guys like, hey,
put a hat on.
do you have a sister? Because that's not the picture I saw. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
But that's sad. Like some women get hired just because of that. I guess men too, because they look young and boyish.
Right.
they should do more of that.
21
show.
Jump Street.
That show was awesome. I think if more people.
Oh, what,
that
the Chris
were-
Hansen Predator
I think if
one?
more people that were like, I don't know what you would call
In
them,
the
like
know?
just pedophile people would see that these are cops setting them up. Maybe it would save a lot of them from doing those things.
Maybe.
The problem is it's a lot bigger problem than anybody ever thought it was, and
I
now
think
that it's been exposed, you know, now we're seeing more of it. We're seeing how fucked this fucking system really is, as far as that goes.
Yeah, I
that
wonder
side,
if
the pedo style, because
They
that's
opened
fucking
a
ridiculous.
can of worms, and they're like, "Oh, this is a lot of worms. We need to
Too many worms.
we need to rub our butts across the carpet at least 20 times."
Earthworms. How long we been running there, Mama?
We are at an hour.
What do you think? Roll her up.
Yeah, we can roll it up.
We've got to save some for more. We got other weeks.
Close the curtain and save a little to be desired.
Scoozy.
I have to go do an audition.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got to do an
fun.
audition. I'll hang out with you while you audition yourself.
Oh, you're gonna do that? That's nice.
Yeah. All right, let's call this thing.
Hold on, let me see. I'm looking. Okay. I
Goodbye.
can see. All right.
Goodbye.
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 I said good
Bye.
day.
I said good evening.
I said
Damn it, we got a day, an evening, and a bye.
Sayonara.
Good day.
Adios.
Good day.
Ciao.
Bye.
Arrivederci.
Good day.
Goodbye.
Hey, this is
Sayonara.